Kia ora, haere mai, I'm Guru and welcome to my State of Decay 3 design series, where I explore speculative features and exciting possibilities that could shape the future of this game we love. First, an important disclaimer. I am not affiliated with Undead Labs or Microsoft. I have zero insider knowledge. This is not a leak. This is not a preview or even an update. It's just me, a long-time player and fan, imagining what State of Decay 3 could be, or maybe what I would like it to be. Alright, with that done, let's get into it and talk about maps. Maps? Why maps? Because maps aren't just tools. They're storytellers and gateways. Think of Tolkien's map of Middle-earth. Just glancing at the map before reading a single word already hints at a world rich with lore, danger, and wonder. It draws you in and tantalizes you with mystery. In survival games, maps can do so much more than just show waypoints and hostiles. They reflect the world, guide decisions, hold tension, and even feed immersion. To talk about maps in State of Decay 3 is to talk about the world itself, its scope, its systems, and its very soul. One of the big design choices that developers face is, should State of Decay 3 have one massive open world like Red Dead Redemption 2, or multiple smaller but detailed maps like State of Decay 2? Whilst more expansive, there are downsides of having one giant map. First, dead space. With too much terrain between meaningful locations, the world can feel empty or repetitive, especially as areas get cleared of resources and interest. Without fast travel, long journeys can feel tedious, not immersive. That hurts pacing and player momentum. Then there's loot balancing. Spreading resources across one enormous map makes it harder to control the quality and quantity of loot, potentially breaking progression. And finally, visual fatigue. Constantly seeing the same terrain or biome for hours can wear down a player's sense of discovery. A smaller, denser map, or multiple interconnected maps allows for more dramatic shifts in style, tone, and tactical approach. Personally, I favour having multiple maps, but with these maps being bigger, more varied, and deeply interconnected. Imagine one map featuring snowy mountaintops, farmland, ravines, dense forest, rivers with fords, abandoned towns, and points of interest like observatories, military zones, or even mines. Maps should feel like characters and reflect their journeys, not just show terrain. Okay, let's talk design. There are two broad types of maps, diegetic and non-diegetic. State of Decay 1 had a diegetic map, a physical map that your character used. State of Decay 2 used a non-diegetic map with a more modern UI overlay. For State of Decay 3, I'd prefer diegetic maps. They're immersive and feel more authentic in a survival game, but they need to be seamless, fluid, intuitive, and above all, useful. Here's the twist though, and I want you to think about this. State of Decay 3 is using Unreal Engine 5. Players will expect tech upgrades, cooler effects, better UI, smarter tools, so on and so forth. But in the world of the game, as time passes, technology is regressing. Satellites are down, nothing new is being built, guns break, infrastructure collapses, data dies. This contradiction is important. The in-game tools should feel like they are scavenged analog solutions, not military-grade drone feeds, and the map is no different. Let us find new maps. Let us upgrade them with new information. Let it be a worn, torn, blood-splattered wreck of a map, but alive. And what if it came with a legend that evolved? Major locations of interest, loot drops, sightings, annotations from survivors, trail routes marked by allies. It could be a tool and a journal. It should almost feel like a companion to the player themselves. To really bring maps to life, We need dynamic zones. Imagine overlays that show relative levels of danger: calm, unsafe, risky, overrun, not just for immersion, but also for tactics. These zones could be used in conjunction with community functions, for instance, assigning tasks to survivors to scout, scavenge, hunt, and maybe more. For instance, you could place markers in areas you want to be looted or reconnoitered, maybe even harvest resource like hunting, fishing, and farming. Say you wanted to send a follower to scavenge or trade. Their safety should depend on the map's state, and that intel, it should degrade over time. In State of Decay 2, on the map, freaks appear with pinpoint precision. In State of Decay 3, spotting a juggernaut should place a marker that fades with time, unless updated. We could even upgrade the map, maybe with recon intel, maybe found with military zones, maybe from a survivor who specializes in cartography or spotting. You get the idea. Let us earn better knowledge. Environmental effects could shape navigation too. Imagine a flood that cuts off a bridge, or a heavy fog that limits your field intelligence. Weather should change what we see and how we use the map. Even temporary intelligence loss could create moments of suspense. A missing horde, a vanishing blip. Now you wonder where those bloaters are. It turns simple travel into tense decision making, and adds a layer of suspense into the game, which will pervade and create the environment that we all want from a zombie survival game. Well, I want anyway. Finally, this all raises some big questions, like will the old maps be included in State of Decay 3? My bet? No, at least not at launch. By the time State of Decay 3 hits, players and communities will have stripped Drucker, Mega, Cascade Hills, all the maps clean. Those maps are done. If they return, they'll be settled, fortified or rebuilt zones, maybe controlled by the network or another faction. They might be mentioned in the game lore, but I doubt they will be playable maps themselves. Will there be a city map? Maybe, but if so, I think it will be in a different way. Cities are massive. Even one apartment block could mean hundreds of rooms and zombies. A 20-story apartment block with 20 rooms per floor, with 400 zombies and 800 containers. Do you really want to search all these rooms? A true city map would be completely overwhelming, but a city zone? Maybe. A combat zone, a red talon base, or hostile human faction where players can experience the closest thing to PvP combat, but of course it will be player versus AI. Something focused though, and designed for intensity, not the typical zombie survival experience of the other maps or regions. Will there be biomes? I certainly hope so. Deserts, mountains, forests, wetlands. Each could demand different tactics, gear, and vehicles. Imagine chainsaws for forests, snowmobiles in the alpine zones, combine harvesters in the fields. We'll explore some of these ideas in future videos for sure. The devs team eternal challenge though is to balance realism with gameplay and fun. In State of Decay 2 you can throw molotovs into buildings and they never burn down. Realism can't override that fun. If burning down a building hurts player experience, it won't be in the game. But there could be some logical consequences. Yes please, think risk reward, but not frustration. Perhaps buildings fill with smoke when you use firebombs inside them. That sort of thing. Can we impact and reshape the world? Let players clear scrub for farms and roads of abandoned vehicles, reinforce weakened bridges, build watchtowers and wilderness outposts, turn map zones into living, editable ecosystems. What kind of maps do you want to see? Let me know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this deep dive, like and subscribe for more speculative breakdowns coming up in the future. Until next time, ka kite, bye for now.